Welcome to Gala 2020. Be a light. We've been expecting you. Have you ever been to our center? Well, many of our guests with us this evening are seeing it for the very first time. And tonight, we're going to invite you to get involved. You're going to hear some pretty inspirational stories. You'll hear of the ways that Foothills Pregnancy Resource Center is a light, impacting the many lives we serve with hands-on services and support, medical services, healing and hope, and light. We are light bringers to our community, and now it's our turn to invite you to become light bringers too. Come along, join me for a quick tour. Joining us from wherever you are in our city, county, country, or nation, or globe for that matter. Welcome. Tonight you'll learn just what a light FPRC truly is in the lives of so many. And we're so glad you're along with us this evening. And as we go along, I personally invite you to partner financially and prayerfully. I'm Lori, the director of this wonderful place. And when you partner with us, you literally help to keep the lights on, and you become lights of transformation to the many women, men, children, and babies we serve. We do this work together, one life or one light at a time. So let's get to know just a few of the encounters we've shared with some clients this year. We're going to return to the rooms we so briskly walked through before, and this time we'll linger just a bit as an FPRC team member relates a special story and shares a way in which you too can join our work. And we think it's important for you to know that we've changed the names of our clients for confidentiality. Now, let's meet Christine.
Hi, my name is Christine, and this is Candy, and we are light bearers for Foothills Pregnancy Resource Center. FPRC is a light to so many, and I have the privilege of sharing with you a story of how FPRC helped when the client needed it most with items from this very room. I'm in our back supplies room, which is where items such as baby furniture, hygiene products, and formula are stored. This is Teresa's story. Teresa had never been to our center. In fact, she didn't even know a center like ours even existed. All she knew was the current state she was in and that she needed hope. She had just escaped a domestic violence situation. Fleeing her abusive husband so suddenly, she was forced to leave behind a nursery, which had been set up for a baby girl due in only 5 weeks. Added to this, she had very few options of places she could actually go because in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, many places remained closed. Did you know that FPRC never closed its doors once during the COVID-19 pandemic as an essential business? So thankfully, the Red Cross was aware of this as well and recognized that FPRC could meet this young woman's needs. Teresa secured safety in a domestic violence shelter, but was overwhelmed by just how many items she needed in order to care for the baby girl due in just 5 weeks. She was so vulnerable as she shared about her situation to our staff in the lobby. Arriving after a long drive with only the clothes on her back, you can imagine the relief she felt when bin after bin after bin of maternity clothes was brought out to her to sift through. She found many pieces that would carry her through the rest of her pregnancy, and we even gave her the hangers. The simplest thing, a common ordinary clothes hanger, made Teresa feel like she was setting up a home for herself and her baby. Next, Teresa was given what we here at FPRC call a layette. Just what is a layette, you might ask?
It's actually a word that has its roots in the 1800s, and it's Dutch. It means an entire collection of items for the new infant.
Thank you, Candy. So when clients are in their 8th or 9th month of pregnancies, FPRC invites them to our center where we present them with this incredible gift. Teresa couldn't believe her eyes when she saw all that was in her very own layette. All of these items were placed neatly inside an infant bathtub. Washcloths and baby swaddling towels, baby lotions, washes, shampoos, and wipes. An entire package of newborn diapers, hats such as these, booties, socks, handmade blankets, baby bottles, books for new moms and families, stacks of brand new and next to new baby clothes, size newborn through 3 months, baby carriers, onesies, diaper bags, even prenatals for mom. Wow, what an incredible gift. Then to Teresa's surprise, we included 2 additional items, a rocking chair and a pack and play. After helping her load these items, the sight of her full car caused Teresa to break down into a flood of joyous tears. She told us how discouraged she had felt on the drive to find us. But then, from the moment the lobby door was opened to her, she felt embraced with the practical love of God. She was going to drive away feeling supported and ready to become a mommy. She knew hope and light had replaced her fears. She wasn't alone. Right here is an example of a layette prepared for a baby girl, just like the one that was given to Teresa on that memorable day she made her way to the light, which is FPRC. You can partner with us and be a light to women like Teresa. We call these partnerships levels of light. The level of light for this room is the cost to assemble a baby layette, $100. Thank you.
That's life-changing. You know, Foothills Pregnancy Resource Center walks the talk. For a woman about to have her baby, they provide her with the formula, the essential equipment, and other items that she'll need at the hospital when she brings her child home. I'm Pastor Mike Medeiros from Cornerstone Bible Church, and our church family love to support this amazing pregnancy center.
Hi, I'm Haley, and I'm also a light bearer for Foothills Pregnancy Resource Center. Throughout this event, you will continue to see and hear about the amazing good that happens when people who walk through the door at FPRC are served and changed, one life or one light at a time. Each time a woman comes to the center, her needs are recognized and addressed, whether that's through medical services rendered or material supplies provided. However, most importantly, every woman is seen and heard. Right now, we are in FPRC's huge clothes closet. It is a baby clothes haven. I mean, seriously, how cute are these? We are so blessed to have this space to store all of your generous donations that we provide to our clients. And while our clients don't ever see this clothes closet or the room where the layettes are kept, our awesome volunteers and staff fill the mom's order from these 2 rooms as our mom sits comfortably in our welcoming lobby. Soon, our mom walks off, proud and happy that she is carrying home a bag full of promises. This room truly represents what hope a mother and her child can find here at FPRC. So let's take a moment and meet Jeanette. Jeanette is a client who's been taking the bus and coming in for monthly supplies since before the birth of her 9-month-old son. During one of her first visits, Jeanette received a baby layette, which you've already heard about. On one particular visit earlier this year, Jeanette came in for her monthly supplies bag on an afternoon following a long day at work. She told us how worn down she felt, even though she was so grateful to have a job at a time when she realized how hard the struggle had been for so many. For Jeanette, the supplies she receives each month from FPRC constitute a major lightening of her load. When we begin seeing a client for monthly supplies, we issue her a brand new reusable bag, which she brings with her at each return visit. Typically, a supplies bag consists of a large bundle of diapers, wipes, baby shampoo, wash, lotion, as well as formula and baby food. It also includes articles of clothing, socks, shoes, and some gifts for mom too. During seasons of hardship, as we've experienced this year, FPRC loves to shower our moms with extras, including handmade cards, Bibles, books to build them up on their journey, and notes that encourage them to visit our social media sites for helpful tips, like how to make their own wet wipes at home. Lately, our clients have been asking for more items like books and teachable tools, like listen and learn educational toys. So on any given visit, a mom may take home a bag that's literally overflowing with hope and light. So back to Jeanette. When Jeanette's bag of supplies was filled to the brim, staff brought it out to the lobby where she was grateful to sit and rest for a moment. Right away, she noticed that more items than normal had been placed in her bag. She began to tear up as she jumped up from her chair and threw her arms around us. She took her big bag and held it up over her head and told us she was forever grateful. Here stood one encouraged and thankful mom. She practically skipped into the hallway and turned around and again said, "Thank you." In turn, we, here at FPRC, want to thank you for bringing a smile to faces just like Jeanette's. One client, after a long, weary day, made her way to see us here at FPRC, and we had the joy of being here for her. You can be here for her too. When you partner with us with a gift in the amount of $150, you can be a light in the life of a client like Jeanette and her 9-month-old son. Through these monthly supplies, you can bring hope to a client's life.
Wow, that was an amazing story. FPRC recycles hope. For a full 2 years, moms are given monthly supply bags containing food, diapers, clothing, baby shampoo, wash and lotion, shoes, socks, toys, and books, along with other items for the mom. I am David Good, pastor of First Baptist Church, and we are proud partners of hope and light with the Foothills Pregnancy Resource Center.
All of the rooms and spaces of FPRC are special. Each room is alive with stories. Staff and trained volunteers have held many hands and hearts as we have sat with clients who found shelter from the storm here at Foothills Pregnancy Resource Center. I'm Kristen, and I'm just one of many trained volunteers who love that about this place. Namely, that God seems to bring the right story to us in His creative way at just the right time. One such story I'll call God's perfect timing. In this room have sat mothers nursing their babies, school counselors with young women who have discovered they were pregnant and were confused as to how they would face their future, parents who've sat with their daughters as the young woman began to take steps towards making an adoption plan for their baby, and still other moms who have come to us at some of the hardest moments in their lives. These walls have embraced many stories. FPRC is blessed with a room like this. It's not just another counseling room, but instead, we have made it warm and inviting so that whoever should sit in these chairs, peering onto the back porch, noticing the blue sky and trees smiling down upon them, that they would be reminded they are in a very safe place. You see, Foothills Pregnancy Resource Center is that safe place that recycles hope and light into everyone who finds their way here. Paulina, one of our clients in her early 20s, came in for her monthly supplies. She came to see us and brought her darling baby girl, who was just about 6 months old at the time. Paulina had first come into our doors when she came in for an ultrasound. Paulina and her daughter have been monthly regulars ever since. Paulina first received a layette when she reached her 8th month of pregnancy. Then, since the birth of her baby girl, she has come to see us faithfully for her supplies, which have included bags of clothing, diapers, food, blankets, and all the extras for cleansing and soothing her baby, plus more. So on this particular day, we greeted her upon arrival and filled her bag. Paulina asked Susie, our nurse, "Susie, may I have a couple of dollars for gas?" Susie replied, "A couple of dollars won't get you that far. Are you okay?" She lowered her dark sunglasses to reveal 2 darkened eyes. Paulina had been staying at a friend's home since the father of her child had turned violent, but he was able to track them down somehow. The baby hadn't been harmed, but that wasn't Paulina's luck. Lori and Susie made sure she was comfortable in this very room after connecting her to some social services that would get her placed at a domestic violence shelter. The entire process from the first intake interview to shelter took all day. Paulina was mainly on and off phone calls while her baby slept peacefully in a pack and play bed. Staff brought lunch in for Paulina, and by the end of the day, we all knew that Paulina would be placed the next day into refuge. But what about that evening? She couldn't return to her friend's home, so we took steps to make sure we could get her housed at a motel for the evening. We provided her a full tank of gas and followed her to the motel where we provided her dinner. Paulina entered a shelter program for several months and is now residing out of harm's way. FPRC's prayer for both Paulina and her baby is that they are fully experiencing peace and comfort. At one of her lowest moments, Paulina found light, provision, hope, shelter, and practical support with FPRC. We believe in going the extra mile for our clients, and when you support the work we do, together we bring light and joy into so many lives. Lives are served here at FPRC. Level of light for this room, $200 to supply a client and her child with resources, supplies, furniture, and hands-on help.
What a great story. I'm Chris Lewis, pastor of Foothill Church, and we support Foothills Pregnancy Resource Center for several reasons. They help and serve so many lives. They change women's lives and they save lives. And I want to encourage you to be a light that serves others. Thank you.
Have you ever played the game Lost in the Darkness as little kids? It's where a child hides in a very dark place as long as they can stand it, finally coming out only when they can no longer stand it. Hi, I'm Greta.
And I'm Candy.
And we are volunteers at Foothills Pregnancy Resource Center. And like the children in the darkness game, the clients that we serve are empowered out of the darkness into the light. At FPRC, we believe that nothing empowers like the truth. Some of the clients we encounter have been kept in the dark far too long and need the truth of empowering light. These are real people who come through our doors every day. So let's take a look at some of the stories from this past year.
In this room, we refer to as the options counseling space. A woman, along with her family, truly hears all of her options. That's what makes us the pro-choices place. We believe that a woman needs to hear the full truth about any of her choices. She hears about an abortion, for instance, which isn't just the quick fix it promises to be, but rather abortion is invasive surgery and her physical and emotional well-being may suffer long-term consequences. As an example, Bonnie was undergoing post-abortion healing. When on her own, after soaking in the truth of what an abortion is, she came to the conclusion that making healthy lifestyle choices are within her grasp. She chose to walk in the light of truth.
Another story is about a man who had lived the hardcore street life and his partner came here when they noticed our sign at the sidewalk that mentions post-abortion healing. Last year, they made a decision to abort their baby and were now grieving. Marcy and Jeff were both devastated because of their pregnancy loss. Jeff, a former prison inmate, saw the light when he realized that men as well as women struggle after an abortion. Marcy returned a few months later, now obviously pregnant. This time, she was choosing life.
Another couple, Tom and Lisa, came in for an ultrasound, confused about what to do with an unplanned pregnancy. As Susie patiently described how active their 12-week-old baby is, their viewpoint changed from one of fear to one of hope. Soon after their visit, unfortunately, Tom was diagnosed with cancer and began undergoing treatment. Now, their baby reminds them of a future full of light.
You know, in today's culture, men and women try to live the lie that their sexuality is a plaything. Rather, they long to hear the light of truth that their sexuality is a gift from God, not to be casually passed from person to person. Lena came in for a pregnancy test and told Susie how sexually active she was with no consideration for her own safety. She said she was basically experimenting with everything that society told her was normal. She had always been told she could never get pregnant, but a visit here proved that wasn't true. Her entire posture and overall demeanor went from hardened player to gentleness, and she continued working as long as possible as a single parent and has begun the journey to positive parenting. Lena may even become one of those moms who instructs their own child in the way of light. And today, more than ever, men and women need to hear the truth about their bodies, as well as the bodies of their unborn. Thank you for helping us share the light. The level of light in this room is $250.
For Options Counseling and Resources, a life changed.
That's great. I'm Cliff Bowman from the Glendora Alliance Church. We support Foothill Pregnancy Resource Center because they offer hope and healing to women and men who are struggling as a result of an abortion. We encourage you to be lights of hope and healing too. Thank you.
Having just completed my 4th year here at the Pregnancy Center as a light bearer, my part as clinical nurse manager includes conducting pregnancy testing, facilitating discussions in the options counseling room, and performing limited obstetrical ultrasounds in this room. I consider it a privilege to get to work at a place like Foothills Pregnancy Resource Center, and while I may be the nurse, I get to wear many other hats while doing my job. Other hats like mom to many, party planner, public speaker, fundraiser, and, well, you get the picture. Hi, I'm Susie Mullen. In my capacity as the nurse of the center, I see so many different types of women from all walks of life. You see, there are no typical pregnancy center clients. I worked with a 36-year-old married woman who thinks the expense of one more child might force her family onto the streets, to the 14-year-old girl who is really just a baby having the baby herself. Statistically, the majority of our clients are women of color with incomes of less than $10,000 per year. It is no accident that many abortion clinics are strategically located smack dab in the middle of their neighborhoods. As I mentioned a moment ago, I'm in the ultrasound room. A couple of years ago, we were blessed to have a brand new ultrasound machine donated. This technology is a miracle as far as we're concerned. And in this room, a client is able to see and hear her growing baby while it's still in the womb. This room is a game changer, for it is here that men and women may be catching the first glimpse of the hope and light in their future, a child. It is not uncommon that we see clients who did not grow up in stable homes for one reason or another. Oftentimes, our clients have been raised by a single parent who just doesn't have time to teach even the most basic skills needed for making the many hard decisions in life. This should not have been Maria's story. She was raised in a great neighborhood with both a mom and dad. She had a good education and was articulate and forthcoming as she shared what had brought her to this place in life. However, something was dragging her down and holding her back from making good lifestyle choices. She had set up appointments 4 different times and was a no-show for the first 3. She just could not get herself in here, and when she did show up, she apologized for avoiding all those previous appointments and was very honest about it. She even brought us a little peace offering, a stuffed panda that grips the bar of the ultrasound machine to this day. She wanted to make a good impression and was ready for some light or hope or something, perhaps a miracle, to set her back on the right track. She was completely honest and vulnerable as she admitted to drug use, alcohol use, smoking even in the last 3 months, as we saw that she was already 15 weeks pregnant. She was a victim of multiple rapes and even contracted sexually transmitted diseases as a result of her lifestyle. A survivor of many things, not the least of which was depression, Maria had ended up in county jail at the darkest point in her journey. She stayed there for 6 years and entered into her first rehab program as a condition of her parole. Now, in search of light and hope, Maria was lying on our ultrasound table at FPRC. Not unlike other clients who I am now close to, Maria was telling me all about her current relationship as we prepared for her ultrasound. She told me about her 13-year-old son who she had given birth to before all her subsequent bad choices. DCFS had taken him and awarded custody to the biological father, who had refused to let her see him all these years. As she told me about this part of her story, her eyes welled up with tears for the first time. She said that one of the reasons she had chosen to become sober was in hope that one day they would be reunited. Then she saw the image of her second child growing in her womb. The connection was immediate, and she said that she knew God was giving her a second chance, and she felt blown away by what she saw on the screen in this room. Light had entered the heart of this wounded and wayward child. The miracle of light on a screen. A mother seeing that light, and Maria reflected that light, and a life was saved. We handed her a handmade baby blanket and some maternity clothes, and we prayed together. We celebrated a new start, a second chance, light, and a new life. The level of light in this very special room is $500 to $1,000. A life-saving ultrasound, the machine's maintenance, expert medical attention, teaching moments, lives saved. Not only the child, but the parents as well. Won't you be a light too? Thank you.
Isn't that such a great story? I am Michael Chisaka, pastor of Outreach at One North Church. We support FPRC because they are able to show a woman the actual images of a child in her womb with life-affirming ultrasounds. Won't you please partner with us as we become lights to so many in need? Thank you.
These have been amazing stories. Stories which we hope are encouraging you to support the work we do here at Foothills Pregnancy Resource Center. And of course, we're also encouraging you to partner with us. Thank you in advance for doing just that, partnering with these stories that we've shared tonight, along with the new stories we'll encounter in the days ahead. So let me remind you of the various levels of light that we've spoken about in our special rooms tonight. For your gift of $100, a layette full of items for a mom and her brand new baby as they begin their lives together. For your gift of $150, when you partner at this level, you're providing a bag full of hope and light for an entire month. The next level of light is at the $200 level, as a mother and her child are supplied with resources, support, and hands-on help right when they need it the most. That's a life served. For $250, a client hears all about all of her options and our caring resources that are available to her throughout her entire pregnancy and beyond that. That's a life changed. For the incredible gift of $500 to $1,000, a life-saving ultrasound is performed by our expert medical staff, free of charge, to any client who needs one. That's a life saved. And of course, any gift you're able to give this evening helps FPRC to keep doing what it does the best. That is, serve, change, and save lives. Thank you to everyone. God bless you as you bless us. We're so grateful.
Thank you for being a light.